Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 108 based on novel. So let's start. The power of the Emperor's soul is divided into Emperor level ordinary, Earth level, and Heaven level. In the future, it will be Fairyland. Don't look at the current Xiao Yan's soul power at the peak of the Emperor's mortal level, but for that Emperor's realm, it is still far away. Moreover, Xiao Yan knew that if he couldn't break through to the soul power of the Emperor's realm, he would not be able to advance to the second-grade Emperor's pharmacies. I don't know if this is because of the constraints of Do Di continent or something. The soul power of the Emperor rank and ordinary rank corresponds to the first-grade pharmacist of the Emperor rank, the soul power of the Emperor rank corresponds to the second-rank pharmacist of the Emperor rank, and the soul power of the Emperor rank and Heaven rank corresponds to the pharmacist of the third rank of the Emperor rank. Really? Xiao Yang said with great joy. I will still lie to you. Seeing this, Snake Xing made a deep voice. That's great. Xiao Yang was secretly pleasantly surprised. If this is really the place where a powerful alchemist fell, then Xiao Yang has full confidence and has the soul power of the Emperor realm. Because this is an immortal level pharmacist, what he has learned in his life must be quite extraordinary. And I know the exact location of the place where the strong man sits. After snake punishment finished, he smiled maliciously. This should be the entrance to the mansion. Xiao Yang immediately frowned upon hearing this, and then carefully looked at the lake. Don't look at it, this is indeed the entrance to the mansion, but without my guidance, I'm sure you'll definitely get lost. The mansion of the Emperor Do Peak and the alchemist of the immortal rank is not so good. Snake said. Tell me, what do you want me to do for you? Xiao Yang didn't hesitate, and spoke directly. Obviously, the act of the snake torture must have something for Xiao Yang. Hey, here's a boy with good eyesight. I said that when I devoured the blood of the three-headed water spirit snakes, the evil spirit was suppressed by the aura of the snake spirits and the two of them, but if they didn't solve it, it would be a scourge after all. Snake punishment said slowly. The breath in the voice is particularly obvious. Senior looks down on me too much. This kid is just a kid with the strength of a 5-star Do Emperor. The evil spirit in the predecessor's body, but even you, who are as powerful as an 8-star Do Emperor, finds it difficult. Wouldn't it be death for me to solve it? Xiao Yang said. Xiao Yang is not a fool either. He didn't know the three-headed water spirit snake. If he helped him because of other people's words, Xiao Yang would have died many times. Moreover, Xiao Yang is not unable to solve this evil energy. According to Xiao Yang's estimation, as long as the tyranny of this evil energy does not exceed that of the 9-star Do Emperor, the Soul Eater talisman will not refuse anyone who comes, devour it directly, and then transform it. For their own strength. I didn't think so at first, but the power you just released that can devour your soul is fine. Snake punishment said seriously. That thing consumes too much for me. No. Xiao Yang directly refused. Haha, what a cunning boy. Seeing this, Snake Xing said helplessly. The next moment, the hands holding the snake jade suddenly moved, and then the eyelids shook violently, as if something was hurting in the heart. Just when the snake torture acted, Xiao Yang's whole body suddenly condensed. Once this snake torture is done, at such a close distance, I am afraid that Xiao Yang's situation will be extremely difficult. Forget it, as long as you help me solve the problem of this evil spirit, I promise to take you to the mansion, and I'll accompany you all the way. Snake said slightly, his eyes fixed on Xiao Yang, looking forward to Xiao Yang's answer. This deal is not worthwhile, I refuse. Xiao Yang still said solemnly. There seems to be something good under this lake. The reason why Xiao Yang did this was all because of Long Yi's words. Before Long Yi was alive, he was a dragon beast that was comparable to a human being at the level of fighting immortals. Although he didn't know the exact rank, but he could be compared with immortal fighting, wouldn't he be an ordinary person? Moreover, Long Yi and the Golden Dragon King are naturally arrogant because of their dragon clan. For many things that are precious in Xiao Yang's eyes, in others' eyes, they are just waste. However, if Long Yi opened his mouth and said, there are good things here, then it will definitely be good things. Damn boy, don't go too far. Snake punishment shouted. Senior, I said that the power that devours my soul is quite a huge drain on me. If Senior really wants to understand that thing, should I show sincerity? Xiao Yang said slightly. It seems that there is no blood at all. With a sigh, Snake punishment opened his mouth slightly. The current strength of snake punishment is comparable to the powerhouses in the early stage of the 8-star Do Di of human beings. If you want to deal with the human boy, I am afraid that you will be able to capture it. If solved, I am afraid that there will be extremely serious sequelae, so the snake punishment at this time is in a dilemma. By the way, I can help you eliminate that evil spirit, and I can also separate the power of these two women. Xiao Yang said slowly. As for this snake torture, although the contact was only for a while, but with the huge soul power, Xiao Yang could feel the huge evil energy in the snake torture body. And the snake torture also has its own pride. Ever since he devoured the blood of the three water spirits, he was first inexplicably sojourned by these two, and then he was tortured by evil spirits, which made him tortured by snake torture, although the relationship between snake torture and these two women was quite harmonious. But the advantages of the three-headed water snake will be reflected only if the other two-headed spiritual wisdom that belongs to him is born. Although these two women saved Snake Xing's life and suppressed the evil power in their bodies, this is not a long-term solution. Okay, I promise you. But human, you have to remember that if you lie to me, this king will die from serious injuries and will let you die here. In return, I will take you to the bottom of the lake. There is a huge treasure at the bottom of this lake. The reason why this lake is so mysterious is because of the treasure. I have been unable to spy on its secrets for hundreds of years. But you have to agree in advance. I was responsible for leading the way before. As for whether the final thing is successful or not, it has nothing to do with me, Snake Punishment said with a bit of pain. This is the biggest concession I've made. The next moment, Snake Punishment was also afraid that Xiao Yang would open his mouth at the lion, and continued. Hey, why would this junior open his mouth like a lion? Xiao Yang smiled strangely. Since the goal was achieved, Xiao Yang also smiled contentedly. Big brother, be careful, this evil spirit is extremely tyrannical. The snake spirit on the side suddenly remembered something, and immediately spoke. Don't worry, you've endured it for so many years, how can you be afraid? Snake Xing laughed, and then handed the woman in his hand to Snake Spirit. The next moment, the snake spirit hugged the woman in his arms, but his eyes were a little wet. For hundreds of years, many times, my eldest brother Fu would be tortured by that evil aura. Now, when I meet someone who can solve the evil aura, Snake Spirit's heart can't help but warm. You need to adjust your breath first. Seeing this, Snake Xing said to Xiao Yang on the side. As an 8-star Do-Di powerhouse, it deeply knows the terrifyingness of this evil thing, so even Xiao Yang, who has the power to devour, must be extremely careful. Yes. Xiao Yang heard the words, did not refuse, and sat cross-legged directly. Immediately, one after another medicinal pills appeared from his hands, and he was swallowed directly. At first glance, those medicinal pills knew that they were not of ordinary quality, and Xiao Yang's breath quickly returned to its peak. Is this still a human? Seeing this, Snake Xing suddenly widened his pupils, staring at Xiao Yang as if he were looking at a monster. Even if you are rich and willful, you can't waste it like this, right? At first glance, these medicinal pills are from the master's pen. How could this human being eat them without money? It is no wonder that the Snake Punishment Society was so surprised. After all, Xiao Yang was an alchemist at the peak of the first rank of the emperor. As for wealth, there was no profession more affluent than a pharmacist. Hoo. After the last trace of Do Qi lingered on Xiao Yang and disappeared, Xiao Yang's aura also recovered to its peak. Let's start. Xiao Yang's breath returned to his peak, and he spoke slightly. Lingling, the two of you back away a little, and I will temporarily seal this pavilion with special power. Serpent Punishment said heavily. For this day, Snake Punishment has longed for countless years. Although this evil power is suppressed by some special powers of the snake spirit, it will always break out every once in a while. At that time, the snake spirit is also helpless, so the snake torture is painful. If the evil power can be completely freed, even if it is to let the snake torture hand over the most important demon core, En. The snake spirit nodded slightly, and then came to the water surface of the lake with a woman of the same age as him in his hands, but there was a strange light shining in the eyes of the snake spirit, obviously thinking about what Snake said just now. If the two of them really met from the bottom of the lake, what was their life experience? Why was he abandoned when he was a baby? Why is my sister, Shiyu, in a coma all the time? Various mysteries plague the snake spirit. Boy, if this time is successful, I will not only take you to the depths of this mansion to get what you need, but I will also tell you some other secrets, and you will also make this king owe money. A favor. The favor of an 8-star Do-Di level powerhouse, this is. Snake Xing said to Xiao Yang in a low voice when he saw the two snake spirits retreating. Other secrets. Xiao Yang heard the words, but he was quite interested, but before he had time to think, he immediately started expelling. The evil power in your body is too terrifying. I can only do my best, I can't guarantee the rest. Xiao Yang ignored the words of the snake torture. Happy. After Snake Xing finished speaking, he glanced at Xiao Yang contentedly, and then 3 colored rays of light appeared all over his body. Is this the power of the 3-headed water spirit snake? Xiao Yang stared at the strange 3-color light on the snake's body, and an affinity emerged instantly. 3-edged square, angrily shouted, and then suddenly erupted from Snake Punishment's body, and then the pavilion, which was about 5 meters wide and 10 meters high, was instantly covered by a burst of 3-color light. The next moment, all the spaces of the pavilion were imprisoned, and there was a terrifying circle around the pavilion, blocking the entry and exit of all item. What a tyrannical sealing method. Just because of the degree of seal of Do Qi, I'm afraid that the average 8-star Do Emperor would not be able to eat it and walk around. This snake torture really has a few hits. Seeing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help sighing slightly. Get ready, I'm going to force it out. The next moment, Snake Punishment's anxious voice came out slowly. You just need to force it out of your body, and then protect your mind. Leave the rest to me. Xiao Yang also knew the importance of the matter, so he did not dare to hesitate any longer, and then spoke slowly. Okay. Hearing the words, Snake Punishment made a dark voice. For this time, Snake Punishment had to take a gamble, otherwise this evil force would erupt again, and I am afraid that Snake Punishment would be directly swallowed up. As soon as the snake sentence fell, it instantly stimulated the huge fighting chi in the body, and then constantly forced a trace of black chi in the body. When the 3-colored rays of light from the whole body of the snake torture appeared, Xiao Yang, through his huge soul power, was astonished to see that the black energy seemed to be attached to his bone marrow, living in the limbs and bones of the snake torture. How long does it take to corrode? Xiao Yang said solemnly, and immediately knew that this matter was not simple, so he did not dare to take it lightly and observe carefully. With the continuous persecution of snake torture, even the black chi in the body that was attached to the bone marrow was slowly driven out. A sound appeared from the snake sentence. As the screams continued, the darkness of the scattered is slowly condensed. It's so evil. Xiao Yang had just noticed that this group was about the size of a palm, and suddenly a chilling feeling came from the bottom of his heart. Old guy, wanting to die is not the idea. An extremely eerie voice immediately emerged from the black air. You demons. You. Damn. Snake Punishment is still screaming in pain, but with his decisive approach, it is a method of hurting 1,000 enemies and killing 800, but this is the only way to completely destroy the evil power in the body shot out. Since you want to die, then this will fulfill you. A Bohemian voice suddenly emerged from its black air. Immediately after the sound fell, the black air swirled rapidly, and in just a few breaths, it condensed into a figure. Rather than a human figure, it is more appropriate to say that it is a devil. I saw that the figure was surrounded by black energy. Those scarlet eyes were like bloodthirsty monsters, and they looked extremely evil. Is this all the evil power in your body? Xiao Yang saw that the situation of the snake torture was slightly better, so he said. In fact, Xiao Yang admires this snake torture a little bit. Just by this method of hurting 1,000 enemies and killing 800, I am afraid that few people can do it. Yeah. Snake Punishment said in a low voice. It was obvious that what he did just now was quite in line with him. This person's strength is a bit terrifying. Xiao Yang murmured in a low voice. Susu, human, get out of the way. This is a matter between me and him. If you wanted to intervene, you would have experienced the storm of hell. The figure transformed by the power of evil spoke slowly. Apparently, he also discovered some oddities about Xiao Yang. Although his strength was only in the early stage of the 5-star Do Emperor, he actually made him feel terrified. That's why this evil power is so cautious. I'm here to take something from you. Xiao Yang said with a slow smile, not feeling any fear at all because of the horror of the evil power in front of him. Some of them were just in the palm of his hand, exuding a madness. An extremely greedy soul eater. This is Xiao Yang's greatest proof. What? The power of evil said slightly. Take your life. The joking words were like thunder, and suddenly exploded in the evil power figure's heart. Arrogant. The scarlet evil figure said angrily. Look at the trick. Xiao Yang's figure rioted, and he didn't talk nonsense with this evil force. Xiao Yang gathered a huge amount of flame power in the palm of his hand, and then slapped away the evil power that was so close at hand. Bang bang bang. A series of voices came from the evil force. Xiao Yang's palm correctly hit the evil force's body, but the strange thing was that the flame in his hand was strangely extinguished, as if he had encountered what's normal. It seems that what he hit was not the body, but a pool of liquid. Your flame seems a bit strange. But this blood demon will devour the two of you today. Snake punishment. Do you think you can do whatever you want by finding a human with the strength of the 5-star Dodi in the early stage? Then you are wrong. A terrifying and sinister voice suddenly came out of the Gorfian's mouth. Although it was found that the flames attacked by Xiao Yang were different from ordinary flames, the Gorfians didn't care too much. After all, among all the flames, the only one that had a deadly threat to their extraterritorial evil race was the Holy Flame. Retire. Xiao Yang realized that things might not be as simple as he thought, and arrived immediately. As soon as he finished speaking, the palm of his hand was directly detached from the Gorfian's body, 2 meters away from the Gorfiend, silently watching his every move. As for the snake torture, when the Gorfiend was forced out of the body, it was surrounded by terrifying forces, because the snake torture clearly knew the horror of the Gorfiend. In the body, I am afraid it is powerless to return to the sky. Blood Demon General? The next moment, Long Yi in the ancient ruler of eternal fire behind Xiao Yang sounded like an arrow in Xiao Yang's heart. Elder Long. Xiao Yang said in confusion. It seems to be certain now that this desert mountain range was definitely invaded by foreign evil races, otherwise, there would not be so much evil power. Long Yi's voice showed a trace of concern. Extraterritorial evil race? Xiao Yang was surprised when he heard this. This extraterritorial evil race is an existence that no one knows about in the world. Everyone is ruthless to them. Every place where the evil tribes invaded is a place with extremely special power or some wonders of the world. I don't know whose seated place is here, but it has been invaded so seriously. Long Yi said slowly. There was a rare heaviness in the voice. Obviously, with Long Yi's strength, he is still somewhat afraid of the evil races outside the realm. That being said, there may be something strange here. Xiao Yang heard the words, his heart sank slightly, and then he said. Ever since he came to the lonely desert of death, Xiao Yang has vaguely felt a trace of unease in the strange fire in his body. When he came to this desert mountain range, the restlessness was even more terrifying. Although I don't know what secrets there are here, but all the places that are eroded by the evil tribes from outside the territory are all living beings. Long Yi couldn't help but speak. Even if it was used as the pride of the dragon tribe, it would not be acceptable to the evil tribes outside the territory. Don't lower your head. After all, this extraterritorial evil race is the nemesis of the entire Great Thousand World. Elder Long, let's solve this thing in front of us first. As it just said, it should be a blood demon general. According to my guess, I am afraid that its strength will not be lower than that of our human 7-star Do Emperor powerhouse. In addition to the extremely evil power on his body, I am afraid that the 8-star Do Emperor powerhouse will not be inferior to us. They all have the power to fight. Xiao Yang said slightly, always vigilant. Gore Demon General. This is also some branch of the alien race. The strength of the Gorfiend in front of him should be at the ground level among the foreign evil races, Long Yi said. Earth level? Xiao Yang was suddenly shocked. The extraterritorial evil clan also has the division of strength, which can be basically summarized into 5 levels: Heaven, Earth, Respect, Emperor, and King. Hihi, boy, although there are also power divisions for the evil races outside the realm, they can basically be summarized into 5 levels: Heaven, Earth, Respect, Emperor, and King. But there is one thing I have to tell you. After all, there is too little information about the aliens. All the powerhouses related to the aliens are bound by the aliens, but I always feel that the strength of the aliens, it's not just these 5 levels on the surface. Otherwise, how could it be possible that a mere prefecture-level foreign evil clan would have a strength comparable to that of a human 8-star Do Di? If this is the case, I am afraid that the foreign evil clan would have already dominated the world. Long Yi seemed to see it. Xiao Yang's guess, Wei said. Humans, take your life. Just as Xiao Yang hesitated, the Gorfiend was suddenly filled with a strange black energy, and then his body suddenly took a step forward and opened his mouth abruptly. As soon as the voice fell, a huge black gas suddenly covered the body of the Gorfiend like a thick liquid, and a stench came out. Damn, this extraterritorial evil clan really deserves its reputation. Seeing this, Xiao Yang suddenly drank, and immediately understood the tyranny of this blood demon general. Use the Soul Eater talisman, otherwise this Gorfiend will not be something you can deal with now. Just when Xiao Yang had a strange thought in his heart, Long Yi spoke directly. Obviously Long Yi was also afraid of what happened to Xiao Yang. Accidents, so the road. Otherwise, if this Xiao Yang is doing some thrilling things, when the Golden Dragon King comes out in the future, the first person who cannot spare it is Long Yi. Oh, okay. Xiao Yang said helplessly when Long Yi saw through his thoughts. I know your intentions, but this is a foreign evil clan, can't make any jokes, so. Long Yi opened his mouth. Just now Xiao Yang's idea was to rely on his own strength to try what is the strength of this Gorfiend general. After all, Xiao Yang has hardly encountered any foreign evil clan. Extraterritorial evil races are extremely evil by nature. They will continue to devour people's minds and souls to assimilate into their compatriots, so there can be no mistakes, otherwise it will be doomed. Long Yi said solemnly, obviously this is not to Xiao Yang. The reason for fighting alone? Yes. Xiao Yang nodded when he heard the words. However, no matter how this alien clan jumps, it can't compare to the Soul Eater talisman in your hand. After all, this thing is much more tyrannical than the alien clan, Long Yi said. This Soul Eater talisman is also weird. When I first got it in the Infernal Corpse Forest, I ignored it, but now I meet this alien race, and I'm suddenly so interested in this evil power. Xiao Yang said indifferently. Solution. Maybe this is the fate of such a strange thing, and I seem to feel that this Soul Eater may be injured. Long Yi said. Forget it, anyway, I can't fully use this Soul Eater talisman now. I'd better deal with the Gorfiend in front of me, and the Gorfiend in front of him will stalemate. Human, you can't fail. Snake Punishment on the side gritted his teeth slightly, then slowly looked at Xiao Yang. A battle was about to start. Human, no matter what, today is also a mortal situation. If you are willing to sacrifice your body, this will probably consider to spare your life. If you join our Blood Demon clan, you will be immortal. How about that? Seeing that Xiao Yang had not moved, the Blood Demon General did not think that this human was too frightened to move, but he was wary of this human being, so Wei said. Oh, the Gorfians, it doesn't seem to have much interest. Xiao Yang said calmly. Don't know what's good or bad, otherwise. Seeing that the Gorfiend was unable to coerce and lure him, his voice suddenly increased. Let's do it, it just so happens that I want to meet the legendary alien race. Xiao Yang was covered in flames, like a darling in the fire. Humph. Then you can die. Gorfiend suddenly drank it. The reason why the Gorfiend didn't attack immediately was because Xiao Yang's attack contained flames just now, although the flames did not cause much substantial damage to it. But that flame awakened the fear in its body. The Gorfiend will clearly remember that there is an extremely terrifying flame in this desert mountain range. If the flames were touched by oneself, I am afraid it would disappear in an instant. That's why you are polite to Xiao Yang. Let's do it. Xiao Yang said nonchalantly, then raised his palm slightly, and a dazzling 23-color strange fire burst out suddenly. With a sound, the flame beam shot directly at the Gorfiend and blasted away. Tips for carving insect. The Gorfiend said disdainfully, and then the black energy around his body wriggled strangely, like a pool of extremely scarlet blood, extremely strain. The terrifying black energy directly devoured Xiao Yang's flame beam, and then the volume swelled, and it was only 1 meter away from Xiao Yang. As expected of a blood demon general. Xiao Yang murmured in a low voice. Although he learned from his master Jin Longwang and Long Yi that the power of this extraterritorial evil clan is extraordinary, but now after the Real insight, I know that this extraterritorial evil clan really is very difficult. Boy, let you taste the pain of this evil body forging, rustling. A gloomy voice came from the Gorfian's mouth, like the death of death, and it was particularly harsh in Xiao Yang's mind. Alas, it really is the absolute difference in strength. Xiao Yang sighed slowly. Although his own flames containing 23 kinds of different fires have very little suppression on this extraterritorial evil clan, it is real and effective, but because Xiao Yang's strength is too different from that of the Blood Demon General, it is not reflected. Come out. Go to hell. The Gorfiend shouted loudly, and then the speed of the strange black energy skyrocketed, shooting towards Xiao Yang, who was 1 meter away. If attacked by such a terrifying evil force, I am afraid it will be a snake punishment, and without any precautions, it is enough to make it impossible to eat. Boy, you can't fall like this. Seeing this, snake punishment couldn't do anything. Now, he can only continue to maintain the seal barrier and isolate the Blood Demon General's retreat. Isn't it too early to be happy? Xiao Yang finished speaking, but the corners of his mouth laughed strangely. The next moment, the yang and just flames on Xiao Yang's body suddenly disappeared, and it was replaced by a stream of blood demons. The strange aura of the same evil power, that breath, like an abyss demon, is frightening. Damn it. The Gorfiend drank abruptly, and then the huge evil power directly submerged into Xiao Yang's body. It's just that this evil force did not cause any damage. After submerging into Xiao Yang's body, It slowly moved towards the palm of his hand. How is that possible? The Gore-fiend was shocked. The evil power on its body, but the one who gave it to him, was able to deal with these 7-star and 8-star fighting emperors. How could it be so easily absorbed by humans with the strength of these 5-star fighting emperors? You must know that this is the power of evil. If ordinary people get a little bit of it, I am afraid it will be very troublesome in the future, not to mention that Xiao Yan has absorbed so much. This is extremely appalling. At least in the Gore-fiend's memory, it was something that had never happened before. Immediately, the Gore-fiend stopped his movements and stared at Xiao Yan in front of him. I don't know why, but a sense of fear emerged from the Gore-fiend's heart, as if he encountered a strong man who could instantly kill him. Illusion. It must be an illusion. The Gore-fiend pretended to be calm, but his heart was already in chaos. Gore Demon General, it's time to end. What you took away from the Great Thousand Worlds will be returned sooner or later. After Xiao Yang absorbed the evil power that belonged to the Gore Demon General, Xiao Yang's pupils suddenly changed. It was black, and then a heavy voice that was not Xiao Yang came out of Xiao Yang's mouth. How is it possible? Haven't you already fallen? Master of Soul Eater. At the next moment, the Gore-fiend suddenly thought of something and exclaimed suddenly, "Die!" A dull voice emanated from Xiao Yang. Immediately above Xiao Yang's palm, a mysterious rune composed of countless mysterious runes and surrounded by mysterious black energy slowly spun. With the rotation of the Soul Eater talisman, a huge suction force suddenly appeared in Xiao Yang's palm. It's not dead yet. Xiao Yang suddenly recovered, and then he didn't care what happened just now, he just vaguely remembered that he seemed lost for a moment, and suddenly drank it. Master of Soul Eater, you will definitely not die. Master Blood Familiar will avenge me. A voice resounded in the pavilion with unwilling anger. Shabu Shabu. In a short moment the entire body of the Gore-fiend General, even the scum that was swallowed by the Soul Eater talisman in Xiao Yang's palm was not left. Dead. The snake punishment on the side was stunned, and immediately made a slight voice. Snake punishment is comparable to that of a human 8-star Dodi, so he knows the tyranny of this Gore-fiend, otherwise how could he have been in a stalemate for so long? Unexpectedly, this Gore-fiend, who used to exist in front of him like an insurmountable chasm, is so vulnerable in Xiao Yang's hand. Yes. Xiao Yang responded calmly, and then sensed the Soul Eater talisman in his hand. However, it was a strange discovery that since the Soul Eater devoured the Gore-fiend, the evil power became stronger, and the obscure and mysterious runes on the Soul Eater also slowly recovered some energy, and then dimmed. Xiao Yang calmed down in the palm of his hand. What happened just now? Xiao Yang asked Long Yi after finishing all this. Nothing happened just now. Long Yi said calmly after hearing this. There are some things that you don't know the need yet. I just didn't think that this Soul Eater talisman is actually the thing of the Soul Eater Lord. Long Yi spoke slowly. Little brother, thank you. When the Gore-fiend disappeared, the shackles that bound the serpent punishment also split instantly, and the strength of the serpent punishment also skyrocketed. In just a few breaths, it was vaguely achieved. It has reached a level comparable to the perfection of a human 8-star Do-Di. Don't move. Just when Snake was about to get up, Xiao Yang suddenly said. Snake Xing heard the words. Although hesitant, he immediately frowned and followed Xiao Yang's instructions. Apparently, Xiao Yang killed the Gore-fiend so easily just now, making Snake punishment respect him. You must know that this Gore-fiend General is extremely terrifying. Even with the strength of the snake torture, it is extremely painful to deal with. Although the human strength is only in the early stage of the 5-star Do-Di, snake punishment will not underestimate him in the slightest. No matter who it is or status, as long as you have strength, you can be convincing. This is the default rule of Dakian world. Hey, it's okay. Just to clear some residual evil power in your body. Xiao Yang took a few steps and came to Snake Xing and said, Come on. After Snake Xing heard the words, his vigilant heart dropped slightly. Obviously this Xiao Yang was already on the danger list by snake torture. Just the elusive soul-devouring power, even the snake torture had to be careful about it. Protect your meridians. I want to use flames to enter your body, otherwise this evil force has already been attached to your body, limbs and bones, and it is not easy to clean up. Xiao Yang spoke slowly. As for the devoured the blood demon general swallowed by the soul talisman, Xiao Yang doesn't even have to think about it. It will definitely be transformed into his own power by the soul-eating talisman. What's the use? But there's no harm in thinking about it. Okay. Snake Xing heard the words and immediately laughed out loud, but he was quite cooperative with Xiao Yang. The next moment, on the tip of Xiao Yang's finger, A new flame that slightly merged with 23 kinds of different fires was born in an instant. Ads by Pub Future. It just appeared, it made this space tremble slightly. This flame seems to be the same as something in the mansion, but it's too weak. The snake spirit, who was tightly shut at the side, suddenly said, "Got inside. Protect the meridians, or else all the previous achievements will be forfeited." Xiao Yang immediately mobilized the huge soul power, subtly controlled the flame, and went to the body of the snake torture. The purpose of entering the body of the snake torture this time is to use the high temperature and some characteristics of the strange fire to completely eliminate the evil power remaining in the snake torture body. "Little brother, even if I increase my strength, I can hold on." Snake Xing gritted his teeth. Obviously, although Xiao Yang's flame power made him quite painful at this time, Snake Xing could feel that it was like a deadly poison attached to him in the past. The evil power in the limbs and bones, after the gore fiend had mobilized almost all of them, still faintly remained. Now Xiao Yang used the strange fire to enter the body of the snake torture, and this trace of evil power also slowly disappear. "You kid." Long Yi obviously didn't know why Xiao Yang was so kind at first, but now he suddenly discovered Xiao Yang's intentions. Hee. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. Obviously Xiao Yang didn't want to completely remove the evil power from this snake torture, but because the strength of this snake torture was too terrifying, after eliminating the blood demon general, the snake torture was used to suppress the blood demon. Returning the power of the will, the strength has soared to the level of the 8-star duty consummation, so Xiao Yang has to guard against it. After all, such a terrifying powerhouse, Xiao Yang is a little difficult. Although this is a bit bad, it can only be like this. Xiao Yang said slowly. Xiao Yang is naturally not a saint. The reason why he wants to eliminate all the evil power of the snake torture is because of the greed of the soul-devouring talisman, but this is second, and the most important thing is that the snake torture is too terrifying. If this snake torture ends up being a white-eyed wolf, I am afraid that Xiao Yang's end will be extremely miserable, so Xiao Yang keeps his hand. Such a terrifying flame is in your body. If there is no abnormality, then it is best. Otherwise, this flame, even if you are at the 8-star Do Emperor perfection level, is enough to seriously injure you. Xiao Yang slowly stared at a group of the flame deep inside the body of Snake Punishment, secretly said, and then slowly urged the flame to continuously eliminate the evil power in the body. Hold on. After doing that method, Xiao Yang returned to his business, constantly mobilizing the power of flames all over his body, continuously moving towards the body of the snake torturer. As more and more flames poured into Snake Xing's body, there were bursts of strange black water on Snake Xing's clothes. As for Xiao Yang, under such terrifying squandering, the grudge in his body quickly dried up. Damn, this evil power is only a trace, but it's still so strong. Xiao Yang wiped his sweat and then spoke. Obviously, if you don't use the power of the Soul Eater talisman, it is still quite difficult to expel this evil power with the power of this strange fire. The strength of the past, Xiao Yang's fighting gas continued to dry, then the continuous swallowing drug recovery. As for the snake punishment, it was spent in the murdered, but with the screams of snake punishment, more and more black water was shot out of the body, and snake punishment also vaguely felt that his body seemed to be recovering to its peak. Okay. After an unknown amount of time, Xiao Yang slowly stopped the flame in his hand, and then said to Snake Xing. As soon as he finished speaking, he didn't hesitate, and his breath was soaring. "What are you going to do?" Snake Xing heard the words, and was immediately shocked. He was not happy at all because all the evil power was taken out of the body, but a chill poured into his heart. "Aren't you going to separate those two women?" "Now is the best time," Xiao Yang said coldly. "Separation?" When Snake Xing heard the words, his pupils shrank suddenly, obviously shocked by Xiao Yang's sudden scene. The three-headed water spirit snake possesses extremely terrifying power, and it is said that it has the possibility of advancing to Do Xian, so this snake torture will definitely not let the two snake spirits continue to live on him for the sake of that ethereal thing. Although these two people did save their own lives, but now the evil power in their body has disappeared, these two people are living on their own body, but they only limit its potential. Because of the evil power at the beginning, even after snake punishment evolved into a three-headed water spirit snake, it did not cultivate the spiritual wisdom of the other two foreheads, and the spiritual wisdom of the other two foreheads was occupied by the two snake spirit. However, I couldn't blame the snake torture at the beginning. After all, if the two snake spirits hadn't attached themselves to his other two foreheads to help him resist the erosion of the evil blood demon general, I'm afraid that the current snake torture would have already been reduced. To be a member of the foreign evil race. Is it really possible? He Xing was overjoyed when he heard the words. He had been looking forward to this day for too long, not to mention that this human has helped him escape the erosion of the blood demon generals, and even wants to help him solve the problem of the three-headed water spirit snake. The snake torture is very grateful to Xiao Yan. It's simple anyway. It just so happens that I also have something to ask for. Xiao Yang turned his head and spoke slightly to Snake Punishment, and then his gaze was revealed. Through this barrier, he vaguely discovered that the snake spirit above the water seemed to be watching the water carefully. Down. This video will end here.